Number 4, perhaps. Is it Carl Keeley?
Yeah,
I see number 4 on the
side. It could be Carl Keeley who's missing all right as you look across it all right.
There's also a 15 on the sideline, so there might be a couple of changes for Ballymun. We'll get on top of that as quick as we can, but certainly Davy Byrne is starting in the inside forward line. Former Dublin player. There was that clip of him online recently trying to bury someone with his shoulder and he ended up in the ditch, but these things happen, Coleman.
Yeah, look, I'm just looking down to your left here. It looks like Davy Leonard is playing here, wing back for Ballymun there. So it's Davy Leonard who looks like he's replaced Fiach Andrews, and Davy Byrne then has also come in maybe for Carl Keeley or in or around that. So they look to be the 2 changes from a Ballymun perspective. We've been out and asked them beforehand if there any changes. They told us no, but no surprise there. I suppose you have to keep the cards close to your chest, I guess.
Well, early doors, Ballyboden have won the first ball, and it's a free conceded by Aaron Elliott, won by Luke O'Donoghue. Ballyboden happy enough to just play the ball out to the left wing back slot, where Ryan Baines is happy to carry it up the field. He's got Ross McGarry, Dublin footballer, of course, on the outside. Instead goes backwards to Hugh O'Sullivan. Very comfortable playing outfield in either code. Now James Holland. And Ballymun, they've got their shape early doors, and David Byrne is standing in the D. They're very happy with their setup here at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to break them down, certainly. And not only that, when you get close to them, watch the intensity of the tackle, so it won't be standing off. If you're in the zone or you're coming close, which you're going to feel the hit here.
Now Shane Clayton, who's been involved in Dublin panels in the past. Very few options, but looks to kick inside. Kieran O'Reilly collects. Colin Baskell feeds the ball back out. Ballymun are certainly getting pressure on. Out to James Holland now, who looked to punch in through the D, but gets turned over really, really well by Robbie Bulger.
Yeah, brilliant work from Robbie Bulger. Not the biggest guy on the field, but certainly throws himself about both defensively, but from an attacking point of view, real pocket rocket. Great work to turn over Holland. He's no small man, Holland, so to stop him is great going.
Davy Leonard now driving out with the ball. He's got an option. Another man who wasn't initially named, Owen Dolan, has the ball. He eventually gets the ball out to Bulger, who of course forced that turnover initially. Now James McCarthy. Will he wind up with the left foot? He will indeed, and puts it straight over the bar. Brilliant point off the left foot from James McCarthy.
Yeah, all coming from Robbie Bulger's hard work from a defensive point of view. Turns over the ball, and Ballymun so quick out. You mentioned someone who wasn't named to start in the shape of Owen Dolan. He's been regular cornerback for Ballymun over the years, but he burst out, got to support the attack. James McCarthy comes on the peel and left foot pops it over the bar. Great start for Ballymun.
Ballymun look happy enough to sit off the kick out here. That's a feature we saw earlier on from St. Sylvester's and Ballantyre, that when teams pushed up, at times, yes, they got the turnovers, but a couple of times Sylvester's got in the other side. So it is one of those things whereby it's a gamble all the time.
Yeah, well, I'd argue that Ballymun are a little bit more practiced in it. They probably know what the game plan is and why they're backing off. So they're allowing them or bringing them to a certain point, and then they're going to try and put a press on the double like we are seeing here.
Really nice turnover from Dean Rock. Eventually the linesman gives the ball to Ballyboden, but really nice work from Rock. He anticipated where the hand pass was going, and getting turnovers high up the pitch are going to be huge today. Ross McGarry back to Cathal Flaherty. James Holland, a little spill, but he manages to regather. Now Ross McGarry against Cameron McCormick, running into traffic. And again, they've gone inside the D, and Ballymun have found a way to turn them over. Really disciplined from Ballymun so far.
Yeah, just watch it. If we see it again, just Cameron McCormick, the way he tackled there was near hand tackle. He just knew if I keep a press on here, he's going to have to try and play the ball. Didn't reach across him. This one that comes across over the top. Yeah. Stayed near hand, managed to orchestrate a turnover. Ballymun so far proven they're going to be a hard one to break down.
Owen Dolan to John Small. And Davy Leonard. Faced up by Dara Sweeney. And James McCarthy. Paddy Small now on the burst into the D, in traffic. Probably feels like he could get a free, but Cameron Cormack inside, and Davy Leonard, he has a pop on the spin, but cuts it just wide.
Yeah, great run by Paddy Small there, but probably lucky to get away. It looked like maybe it overcarried at a stage, then looked like he'd been fouled, but did well to pop it back. There was probably a score on there that Davy Leonard should have taken, but he just pulled it on the far side of the post. But real pace in the move, it was lacking maybe in the last game, that pace. Certainly no lack of intensity here so far.
Donald McCabe with the ball now for Ballyboden. Alex Gavin winds up, has a pop, looks happy. Straight over the bar, level game.
Yeah, good score, backed himself to take on the shot. In fairness to him, Alex Gavin, good young player, came inside. Wasn't sure whether to back himself or not, but then took it on and knocked it over the bar despite a bit of late pressure from James McCarthy.
And he's another player who's been involved with the Dublin panel in recent times.
Looked at experience littered all over the field, both at underage level and into senior level. So that's why there's a level up maybe on what we've previously seen today.
Leon Young confidently striding out of defence, back to Owen Dolan. Was Davy Leonard in front of him, but stays going. Ross McGarry, not going to be easy to get away from him. So Ballyboden decide to work the ball backwards, and John Small has it once more. Here's Davy Burke. A lot of experience in this Ballymun team, and a lovely ball inside to Robbie Bulger. Dean Rock with a lovely fetch. Bowden moving the ball really, really nicely. And Cathal Flaherty leaves the arm in. And Paddy Small accepts the invitation, goes down, and referee John Higgins has given the free, and he might even go with a yellow card for Cathal Flaherty, who probably just couldn't resist.
Yeah, big hit, but just so good at minding the ball, trying to find the right player like Dean Rock at a stretch there. It was a great catch, then feeds it back out, knows where the options are. They're seasoned, they're a long time on the road, the majority of these Ballymun guys, so they know what the game plan is, they know what they're trying to achieve. In previous years, maybe they hadn't the lads with them that gives them that added momentum. You're trying to fit them into a team that's been playing all season without them. So I think the 6-8 weeks they've had together just puts them in a different place this year.
Was that the case from your playing days, that you'd come back in and it nearly disrupts the team, even though you might be one of the better players, as that ball goes over from Dean Rock?
I would never claim to be one of the better players, but certainly when you're looking at, if you think of this group here, so you'd have had Evan, John Small, Paddy Small, Dean Rock, you have James McCarthy, so you have 5 fellas to fit in. So any team is going to be impacted by that level of guys coming back. Plus they're coming back on potentially an All-Ireland success, which it has been for so many years.
And that's a turnover. And Dean Rock hits the crossbar, and probably. What a let-off. Huge let-off for Ballyboden. We'll get a replay of that.
Unbelievable. Like, I kicked
Bowden
into
in control, kicked it straight to Dean Rock, who has a pop from the 45. And it's actually great that he had the pop and didn't just turn backwards with the ball and look to recycle.
Yeah.
But
unbelievable. 1 in a million chance of hitting the crossbar, and he certainly did that. Unbelievable.
And that is so careless, and just a moment like that could have Bowden massively on the back foot, but instead they get away with it. Once more though, they've turned the ball over, and Ballymun ultimately keep giving the ball away, and they are going to punish you. Paddy Small with it now on the 45. Kieran McManus. And eventually it's back to Leon Young. Cameron McCormick once more on the ball. He's got Cathal Tighe outside him, but instead files Young, who eventually plays it on to Tighe, and Dean Rock. Coleman, Ballyboden very good at moving the ball from side to side, and it feels like just Ballyboden are chasing shadows to some degree.
Yeah, look, I mentioned they're just so seasoned. They know exactly what they're trying to do all the time on the ball, Ballymun. So they're right options. They're working hard. They're trying to put pressure on Ballyboden. You can see every time Bowden come at them, the intensity in the tackle, and then the patience on the ball here. So they're not trying to force anything.
Dean Rock has the ball. He's withdrawn a little bit outside the 45. Gives it back to Davy Byrne, who seems to be playing very much at the base of this Ballyboden team, trying to orchestrate. And now they've injected it inside and recycled once more. Leon Young initially winds up. Now it's Cameron McCormick on the left foot, but he pulls it just to the left and wide. That was a real opportunity.
Yeah, the movement is great. I mean, like we were critical, I suppose, in the first game that was on here. The teams are sitting back. Ballyboden are doing similar. They're sitting back, but Ballymun, because of the pace and the movement, they're punching holes. So, you know, Ballyboden trying to mark space, but they need to just come out a little bit, get a bit closer to Ballymun, and compare the intensity in tackles. Like Ballymun, once they break the line here, they're just trying to swallow up Ballyboden.
Again, bringing it into that D area, and that's where Ballymun are getting a turnover. They've been exceptionally well drilled back there.
Yeah, and disciplined in their tackling. They're not giving away any soft frees, so they're turning it over and then settling on the ball to try and create something up ahead of themselves.
James McCarthy brings the ball out to Cathal Tighe. He gives it back to Cameron McCormick. Ballymun incredibly patient throughout this game. They've created serious scoring chances already. They have scored 2 points. They've also left 1-2 behind them. Ballyboden, the other side, they have 1 point from one shot, but they've continuously been turned over when they get towards the D. So Ballymun certainly look more creative so far. Cameron McCormick, he winds up once more. That's his second wide of the day.
Yeah, but coming a little bit easy for Ballymun. Ballyboden just haven't got to the pitch of where Ballymun are at. They're operating at a different level. There's a different intensity. There's a different pace. Ballyboden are looking for a way to try and settle into the game. Just so far, Ballymun, they haven't matched them, and they're, as a consequence, are lucky to be only a point down, given what Ballymun have created over the last 5 or 6 minutes. And
every team, you know, coming into championship, they're going to be missing a player or two or carrying a couple of niggles. But Ryan O'Dwyer is not available for Ballyboden. And we've already mentioned that Ryan Baskell is out with a cruciate, and it feels like at the moment they are missing those players.
Yeah, they are. Well, they're just not managing to punch the few holes that you generally expect from Ballyboden. That's down to a lot of the good work Ballymun are doing in terms of how they're covering across space, and then the physicality in their tackles. It's disciplined, it's hard, but it's disciplined.
Ross McGarry. James Holland. And yet another turnover from Ballymun back there.
Yeah, but look at the commitment into the tackle. If this sticks, great.
Dean Rock feeds it on to Paddy Small, and Ballyboden are very much on the back foot here. Tactical foul from Ryan Baines, but still Robbie Bulger has it and eventually clips the ball over the bar, coming once more from a turnover at the far end. And Ballymun, they carry that threat all game long.
Yeah, that's a great score. Like, look at the pace that was added into the move there. Paddy Small would be raging that he was pulled back there. There was an advantage given, and then popped the ball back to Dean Rock, who found Robbie Bulger. If Paddy had looked up a little bit earlier, Bulger was probably ahead of him for the pass. But it's the intensity in the tackle for the ball. Fully committed into the tackle was Leon Young, wins the ball, and in 2 passes they're out and attacking Ballyboden. So you can be defensive, but when it breaks down, you've got to get out with pace. And if you listen to Evan Comerford, who's beneath us here, he's shouting all the time, you've got to go, you've got to go. So you've got to back up the run. You can't stay back, you've got to help out.
He's very much directing traffic just down to the left of as people are watching on the stream here at the moment. He's telling players where to go. And obviously he's frustrated that he can't play himself, but I suppose it's nice to make some sort of an impact.
He's almost like a Lockhart there. He's only missing one of the papers to kind of direct people where they're going, in fairness to him.
Shane Clayton carries it inside the D. Now what can Boden do this time? Feeds it back, and in traffic goes Colin Baskell. The referee has given a free, probably a lazy arm going in there.
Yeah, but just the first one they've given away inside the D there. And again, Baskell was under pressure because there was 4 Ballymun players around him. So if they had been a little bit more disciplined, there was a huge opportunity of another turnover. But that D is so cramped space-wise. It's very difficult for Boden. They need to try and break out a little bit.
Yeah, McCormick, Davy Byrne.
Yeah, there was maybe a bit of a slap. But, you know,
Arian Elliott maybe left a hand in there.
Yeah, they don't look too annoyed that their decision was given against them, but a chance for Baskell, only their second shot at the post.
And no problem there for Colin Baskell, one of the form forwards in the county in the last couple of years. But for Ballyboden, when they're bringing it into that D area, or certainly where Ballymun have the traffic, Do you think there's any particular reason why it's breaking down so often for them?
Yeah, well, there's bodies, number one, that they're unable to break down because of, you know, the size, the physicality of what they're trying to do there. But secondly, there's probably not enough pace in terms of movement for quick hands to give someone a run passing by you. So it's just a little bit, pedestrian's the wrong word, but it's slower than where they need to be at to try and break those lines and punch holes in the Ballymun defence as it sits at the minute.
Owen Dolan. Cameron McCormick on the ball once more. Looking to glide past Ross McGarry. Now McCormick is certainly in traffic and he's hit by Cathal Flaherty, and it looks like it's a turnover for Ballyboden. That's a big win. That's the first time they've had a huge turnover on Ballymun. They'll feel a little bit better about themselves from that.
Yeah, massive hit from Cathal Flaherty there. You know, full on shoulder, ball drops and they managed to pick it up. A little bit slow coming out, giving Ballymun a chance to reset. So not the same pace certainly that Ballymun have been coming out with.
And despite Ballymun looking more threatening in the opening 15 minutes or so, there's still just a point in it now.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed, Ballymun. They don't have more on the board. They 3 wides, 2 on the spin from Cameron McCormick. They had that goal chance again. Great work again in the tackle. Can they move the ball now?
James McCarthy has it. He's happy to settle things down. Hands it over to John Small. And then that's played on to Cameron McCormick, who has certainly been on the ball a lot. Maybe not enough at the end of it, but certainly he's prominent and he's getting around the pitch. Davy Leonard now. Cathal Tighe gets involved, as does Robbie Bulger. And Davy Byrne at the base of the Ballymun team, looking to recycle and get the ball to the far side, which John Small duly does. Eamon Hill. And a nice turnover from Cathal Flaherty.
Yeah, he's a commanding presence there, but you're probably the wrong pass. You're looking to try and hit inside there. Always favoured Flaherty coming out.
Michael McDonald now carrying the ball through the centre of the Ballymun defence. Donagh McCabe. Colin Basquel. Back to McCabe and Basquel once more. Now it's Shane Clayton. And yet again, a turnover. He tried to pass the ball to Kieran O'Reilly, but instead it ends up on the floor, and now it's John Small cleaning up. And Owen Dolan.
I think the initial pass was just behind him, and then he tried to double back on it, then caught himself out again. But they just haven't minded the ball well enough once they get over the 45. Yes, there's pressure coming from Ballymun, so you have to be very neat in everything that you're trying to do. But they've just been too loose, keep turning over the ball cheap, keeps allowing Ballymun just to gain an advantage every time.
Dean Rock now. Evan Comerford wants his team to be patient. And James McCarthy for the second time with his left foot pops one over the bar from 30 yards out. James McCarthy certainly is punishing teams anytime they step off him. We've seen that for 15 years and he does it to Ballyboden here.
Yeah, I think he probably got away with one in terms of the steps there. He showed the ball a couple of times. The referee gave him the benefit of the doubt. I wouldn't be one to argue with James either, so maybe let him go. Popped it over the bar, a second score off his left foot. Nice tidy finish.
And even though Dean Rock hasn't got on the score sheet just yet and hit the crossbar with that goal chance, just him as a focal point, somebody to be able to play the ball into inside is huge.
Yeah, not only that, his work rate. Like, he's been out here, he turned over ball a couple of times, he cut off the goalkeeper on a run another time, so he knows what the role is. He's trying to be economical because of he needs to mind himself. He's not as young as he once was, but he's experienced in terms of his role. So he's not only doing the attacking piece well, he's also helping out the team from a defensive point of view. Very
disappointing shot from Darren O'Reilly. Just kind of tried to cut across it, banana style. We've seen that earlier today with Alex Wright of St. Sylvester's. Didn't come off this time, and that's Ballymun let off the hook.
Yeah, it's probably his first time getting on the ball, so he's eager to do something on the pitch.
Sean Curry probably just overshooting the landing on that one. Donagh McCabe now working the ball across to Shane Clayton, who's been regularly on the ball around the middle of the pitch. James Holland. Dara Sweeney now. Out to Kieran O'Reilly. Cathal Flaherty eager to get on the ball once more. What can Ballyboden produce this time? They step off Ross McGarry, and again it's a second banana shot in a row for Ballyboden, and again it's the same result, which is the umpire waving it wide.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's the right idea from Ross McGarry. We mentioned during the opening game there is a breeze blowing in Ballymun's favour into the good turnover and the kick out too, and a spin they've lost. There is a breeze blowing to the golf course end, so it's going to be tough to get scores. A lazy arm there again just gives McGarry a chance. He has an advantage. Short again.
Short, and probably the referee decided the advantage went on a little bit too long, so he wasn't willing to pull it back that time. Good work from McGarry, but
yeah, he cut inside, put it onto his left side, but just the finish lacked any bit of conviction really around, and had just been forced to kick maybe a little bit further out than they'd like. That's again down to the pressure Ballymun are putting on them. But a little bit better from them. They had a couple of shots in a row there. They've been a little bit better on putting pressure on Sean Curry's kick out too.
Davy Leonard winds up and has a bit of a wild shot that drops short. Breaks to Owen Dolan off of Dean Rock. And for a finish, wide from Kieran McManus. So a little bit wasteful from Ballymun.
Yeah, and again, Dean Rock had no right to get a hand on that. There was 3 Ballyboden players converging on him there. He still stays under the ball, gets a break off it. Owen Dolan backs it up. Probably should have come back a bit quicker to Rock rather than to go back to Kieran McManus. But there's been 3 bad wides there in particular. The 2 from Cameron McCormack, and then that one obviously that's followed on from Kieran McManus there. So look, both teams probably guilty of some poor shooting, but in terms of intensity, certainly an interesting battle.
Yeah, just a little bit of a lull in terms of scoring, like you're saying. The last 5 attempts between the 2 teams, they've all gone awry. Let's see what Ballyboden can produce here. Luke O'Donoghue works the ball to Dara Sweeney. Recycles out to Harry Donaghy. And now a little bit more room for Dara Sweeney. He was knocking these over for sport in the warm-up. Has he here? He has indeed. Sweet left foot on Dara Sweeney, and that'll do his confidence no harm at all.
Yeah, that's a monster score in fairness to him. Davy Byrne was coming out to try and get a block on him, but he just stole a march in terms of a little bit of space. The block was maybe late getting to him, but against whatever breeze is there, he put everything into that to knock it over the bar. Big score for Ballyboden. And
Ballyboden's inside forwards, we've talked about how often it's broken down in and around the D, and maybe they just haven't been able to pop them over yet. Number 14, Darren O'Reilly, he hasn't been able to get into it just yet. Kieran O'Reilly, Dara Sweeney, that's the first time he's made an impact. Yeah. So further inside threat, that is big.
Yeah, and they haven't managed to break the line to give it to the guys inside. So in fairness to Dara Sweeney, that time he's managed to find a pocket of space just inside to get the score. Probably the first time they've managed to create that space for him. So not only was it created, to then execute is also great from a Ballyboden perspective.
Paddy Small on the ball now. Takes it once more and throws it back to Eamon Hill. Leon Young now. And Owen Dolan carries forward. Cameron McCormack gives it back once more. Davy Leonard recycles and Cathal Tighe has it. And John Small working with his brother Paddy, who stumbles at the wrong moment, and after a hit from Harry Donaghy, probably can't help but touch it on the ground.
No, I'm actually not sure if he did touch it on the ground. Obviously the referee said he did. I think he probably went to ground and crouched over the ball, but the free is given either way. He took his eye off it just as the pass came. He was trying to think, where am I going with it, before he secured it, and just lost it as a consequence.
Now it's Colin Basquel. Luke O'Donoghue has a pop, winds up, and it's going to drop short. Sean Curry's coming for it and does get a fist on it.
Yeah, did well, Curry. Not only does he get a fist on it, he fisted it out towards the sideline. So it was, a controlled fist he put behind the ball. Did well to knock it into the direction there of Davy Leonard, who picked it up, got a knock in the back for his troubles. We rebuild again. We're shy on scores, but certainly not shy on intensity in the action.
McManus plays it back to John Small. As ever, Davy Burke standing behind him. That's the way that they've set up. Two of them moving the ball around, and now we've got Davy Leonard, who's up and down the pitch all game so far. 25 minutes in, almost 4 points to 3 to Ballymun. Like you said, low enough scoring, but nonetheless intriguing. Davy Byrne's been very effective playing that deep role.
Yeah, and again, look, a guy who's lots of experience. He's not going to maybe have the cut and drive that he once had, but he's doing that holding role. He's very physical when the ball breaks. So if you're heading towards Davy Byrne, you're going to know about it in terms of taking him on. So he's playing the role well. Great pass inside.
Robbie Bulger collects from Davy Burke. And now James McCarthy. Is he going to have another pop? No, feeds it on to Dean Rock, who runs into traffic. And ultimately it's a free for Ballyboden. Seemed to be a little bit of a trip.
Yeah, I would have thought Dean Rock was unlucky as he broke in there. He certainly looked like there was two arms around him, so I'm not quite sure where there wasn't a free given in the way. But then once it broke out, once it was still in his hands, the referee was going to always go the other way in terms of a foul on the ball. But again, both teams, so physical in their defence. When you come into that potential scoring zone, there's no time and no quarter asked. It's you have to hit and break the tackle to try and hold on to the ball and create something.
Alex Gavin already with a score to his name. Will he fancy working another scoring situation? He won't. He'll go back to Ryan Baines, who gives it to Carl Flaherty. And the referee unhappy with that from James Holland. Carried it into traffic, perhaps Bargin.
Bargin. I think he went into him with his shoulder into his chest. So, you don't often see them given. It'll generally just be play on. But referee spotted it, decides to give a free out. Again, another big guy, but he definitely leaned in rather than trying to go by him.
A lot of turnovers at the top end of the pitch on either side here.
But it is down to the intensity of what's coming in terms of the tackle. So it's not like it's a lack of carelessness on the ball.
Carl Tighe was waiting for a free there, didn't come. Referee said play away. And normally when that happens, they let the next one go, but not on this occasion. Cameron McCormack penalised for a tug back on Collie Basquel.
Yeah, I think Carl Tighe was unlucky, on his, the physicality in the tackle looked like it was going to be a free. The referee decides to play on. Carl Tighe is caught waiting for a whistle, and then Ballyboden managed to get a free. But yes, there's been a lot of turnovers, but the turnovers are coming as a consequence of the pressure. Both teams applying real pressure when you get into the scoring zone.
Ryan Baines feeds it back to Alex Gavin, and that drops short. That's the third time that Ballyboden have dropped a shot short.
Yeah, again, could be partially down to the wind, but again, I don't think he caught it right. But as mentioned, there is a breeze blown from the goal down towards the golf course end, and this time I think there will be a free given.
And I think Holland was looking to slow the play up there as well, because he knew his team was a little bit exposed at the back, and Dean Rock was up at the top end of the pitch, and we know the damage he can do. Yeah,
he's been involved in a couple of tackles, so I wonder is the referee saying to him that's the second or third time and he might stick him in the book here? No, he's maybe just marked him and said that's the last one.
Leon Young. James McCarthy spreads the play out to this near side, where Owen Dolan is happy to carry it once more. We've seen him do it a few times. Paddy Small's in traffic. A tug back from Darren O'Reilly, but the referee lets it go.
What the referee is allowing is a lot of high contact onto the chest. So what he is allowing is a big tackle into that chest area. Definitely that's a foul on Paddy Small, but in across the field he's allowed that, so he's being consistent in terms of how he's refereeing it. But to be done for over carrying when your first tackle is that hard, it's just the way he's refereeing the game. So I guess teams are probably going to say, right, well, we seem to be allowed hit hard. You watch again there, and again a turnover. So that's just the way he's refereeing the game, rightly or wrongly. Yeah, the onus seems to be on the ball carrier to do something with it. Whoa, that's going to be a high tackle from Carl Flaherty. He's already on a yellow card. John Small is down. He's going to need some treatment, certainly, and I don't see a way around this for John Higgins. He's going to have to give a second yellow card. Yeah, look, again, it comes from a turnover. Cameron McCormack picks up the ball. Davy Byrne pops it on. As he turns, he's coming at full tilt there. Yeah, there's no escaping that one. You can't even say he ducked into it. The high was a high swing and one. I think in the back in my day in the WWF days, it would have been called a clothesline. So I think that's what it's going to be marked down as, and it's going to be the end of the road.
And he's gone straight red.
Yeah, not sure it was straight, but definitely was another card involved in it. But look, it is what it is. He's caught him high on it.
The ramifications of that are huge, of course, because next week, assuming that Ballyboden come out on the wrong side of this result, they'll be against St Sylvester's. He won't be available to play, and I mean, sometimes if you put yourself in the player's shoes here, you think he put out the arm, and yes, he caught him. He knows it's a freeze. He knows it's a yellow card. It's just, at the same time, he's probably not looking to do him or anything like that.
And in fairness, it's John Small just shifts his feet, so he gets the other side of Cathal O'Flaherty. Your natural reaction is to put your hand out to stop him. Your hand is a little bit high. It suddenly catches him higher than it needs to. Results in a red card. So the pressure comes on Ballyboden now because you're down one, so you can't afford to leave someone up. Everyone now has to get into the defensive shell.
Huge uphill battle now for Ballyboden. They're only down a point, but to be down a man here and a crucial player in Cathal O'Flaherty wearing your number 6, to have him on the sideline, that is a big mountain to climb. And no better team to stretch the pitch than Ballymun, who'd been doing it in any case. But certainly it's going to be tougher now for Boden. Paddy Small. John Small coming on the loop with Darren Riley trying to face him up. Referee has the arm up for a free. Small plays it inside. Davy Leonard turns, blocked. And the referee had let the advantage go long enough that he's not going to go back at this stage. But that was a half sniff of a goal there coming.
Yeah, great ball across initially. Turned, I think it was the corner forward there.
Turnover again. Cameron McCormick is in, feeds the ball back to Bulger. Paddy Small finishes it off, back of the net, goal. What a huge couple of minutes in this game. Huge turnover once again. We know how valuable they are at the top end of the pitch. And Ballymun stayed composed, worked the ball through the hands.
Yeah, well, those couple of turnovers, Ballyboden have been guilty of them across the first half. They're down a man. Small does well. I thought he was going to, pop it into the net. Held on to it, took a step and sticks it into the goal. There was probably a half a chance before that when the ball went across to Bulger. Great block by Kieran O'Reilly. But when they had the ball and the chance to get out, they turned it over, which is a big turnover for them.
And Ballyboden certainly don't look happy here. Alex Gavin dragging away one of his teammates from referee John Higgins. Nothing overly untoward happened there, but a huge couple of minutes coming into half time. Like, it was 3 points to 4. All of a sudden, red couple of goals for Ballymun. They take the second one and they go in 1-4-3 ahead at half time. On the balance of play, leaving out the red card, are they value for that?
Yeah, look, there was, we were 10 minutes without a score really there. The last point from play came from Dara Sweeney, and then there was a 10-minute lull without anything. So the big action point was obviously the red card, and then they get this potentially big score. Ballymun were probably better in the opening quarter, didn't show their dominance on the scoreboard. They kicked a couple of bad wides, they dropped a couple short, and then when Ballyboden did get the upper hand, they were a bit guilty of some of their shooting and also dropping balls short. So 4-3 for all the half time probably would have been a fair reflection. The goal probably just sways it a little bit obviously sways it in Ballymun's direction, but they probably didn't overly deserve the goal despite the fact that they were the better team maybe across the first half. But it's a big second half for Ballyboden now. They're a man down. They're obviously a goal down as well on top of 1-1 down, we'll say. So it's going to take a big effort second half. Admittedly, they will have that little bit of a breeze behind them, and there is plenty in them in terms of turning this game around. Yeah,
and just watching out on the pitch, seeing that Ballyboden management team, they're trying to figure out what are we going to do for the second half. Manager Kenny Naughton leading the chat there. They're 1-4 to 3 points behind against Ballymun, who've had a nice spread of scores. A goal from Paddy Small, a couple of points from James McCarthy, Robbie Bulger with one from play, and Dean Rock with a free, Colin Baskell with a free, Alex Gavin and Dara Sweeney with the only points for Ballyboden. So half time, 4 points between the sides, 1-4 to 3. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with the second half of this Go Ahead Ireland Dublin Senior Football 1 clash.
Stay City Apart Hotels. Half apartment, half hotel. Warm beds, comfy sofas, and fully equipped kitchens. We offer guests more, so you can do more. Cook, sleep, work, play. Welcoming, accommodating, and big beds for jumping. Smart travellers choose Stay City because Stay City is the smart choice. Stay City, half apartment, half hotel, all across Europe. Save 10% every time you book at staycity.com.
We're delighted to extend the partnership with Go Ahead Ireland. They're an organisation that serves communities all over Dublin and helps serve our club members around the county, and it's been a brilliant partnership for the last 3 years, and we're delighted to extend for a further 2 years.
Like us, Dublin GAA are embedded in their community, so it was a really natural fit. For us, it was important to find a partner that was inclusive, but also had that community identity, and that's exactly what we found in Dublin GAA. Since we started the partnership, they've been really easy to work with, and we're really excited to continue the journey together.
In those 3 years, we actually accomplished a lot with Dublin GAA. We were privileged to be able to work with both local and national charities with them, as well as working on several GAA initiatives.
This partnership allows us to support Club League and Championship with initiatives such as our Dubs TV live streaming platform. We try and stream as many games as possible, particularly during the Championship season where we can from a logistical point of view around grounds, and that is something we will continue to try and deliver over the coming years and keep enhancing Club Championship product and club leagues around the county across all 4 codes.
In the coming months, we're going to be continuing growing our services. And while we do that, that means that we'll be serving more GAA community clubs than ever before.
This year alone, we're going to be introducing the Development Fund for Accessibility as part of our partnership, which is going to see core infrastructure at Dublin GAA developed. In the summer, we're also introducing the Go Ahead Ireland Dublin LGFA Summer Skills Camps, which will be held in July and August.
As Dublin's best performing public bus operator, we're going to continue to work really hard on delivering for our customers and our communities.
One of my favourite places to grab a coffee in Dublin is Bua. It's one of these kind of COVID coffee trucks that popped up, and it's kind of developed into this bit of a social hub. I'll always find myself being drawn back to social fabric. It's just a beautiful place to go. They always have consistently good food there. Bar 1661. So I love watching them make the cocktails, shake it up, garnish it, serve it. Howth village itself is a lovely little kind of seaside town. The Gravity Bar up on the top floor of the storehouse, and it's just an amazing place, an amazing view of Dublin City. Definitely visit Temple Bar and take in what's there. My advice would be just try your best to see other parts of the city. Brian Fenton, this is my Dublin.
It has to be Tang on Abbey Street. You can't beat their flatbreads with the chickpeas and spicy chicken. It's Irish owned, great food, great people. Shoe Lane beside Tara Street train station. It was close to Trinity where I went to college. They have nice croissants, fruit scones. If you're ever looking for a quiet place to go and chat with your mates, the Snug and Chaplin's has to be the go-to. Lovely old interior. Just have to get the dart out to Vico Baths, bring the swimming togs, go for a dip, and you get a lovely view of Killarney Bay. The Epic Museum, I think it's something nice to just figure out the history of the city. You have to go and visit a GAA or hurling or camogie game. It's the most amazing atmosphere. It's going to be an unforgettable experience. Cian O'Sullivan, this is my Dublin.
Tribeca in Ranelagh. I had to go with my family. It's a favourite of ours. Definitely recommend trying their wings. The Metro Cafe, it's a great spot for people watching, especially when it's sunny outside. An oat milk cappuccino would be my go-to. The atmosphere in Devitt is always brilliant. We've had plenty of team nights out there, always great crack. The Timber Trove Cafe in the Dublin Mountains, it's a really cosy family-run cafe. Family House would definitely be a must visit. They have monthly markets on which are gorgeous. I would advise you to walk around the city because most of the main attractions are close by and you can get there quicker on foot. Niamh Gannon, this is my Dublin.
Kyo's Cafe in Portobello. I really like going back just for the vibe. It's nice and chill, people are really cool. Trails Cafe in Ticknock. The coffee is really, really good. Americano, small bit of milk, and you're good to go and hit the trails. Blue Light is always a nice roaring fire. We tend to go up after All Ireland final week. It's a really nice place to be. I'd recommend getting out to Poolbeg Lighthouse. It's a great walk out. You get a great view back of the city. If you get the chance, I'd go up to Ticknock, go up and rent a mountain bike. Trails up there are pretty cool. Bring a raincoat, a shower's never too far away. Orla Nolan, this is my Dublin.
We met down in Fairview, and Kieran's brother was a friend of my brother's. We met through them, so when I was coming up to the Devs, I invited Kieran to my Devs. He asked me to marry him, and I said yes, so long as our firstborn child played for Vincent's. And he said, okay, grand. It's great to have our family involved as well. I suppose if the kids weren't as interested in it as we were, it'd be very tough on us.
Kieran's are playing Vincent's. The tension in the house is gas. Mum is obviously Vincent's and Dad is Kieran, so Mum always claims that she'll give John steak for dinner and she won't feed Kevin. But it's always a bit of a laugh, but I suppose no one takes it too seriously.
She had her hands full. She could have got the job as a bus driver. The amount of dropping off and picking up she did from matches around. Leaving some matches early to go to another match to make sure she got the end of that, or make sure we all got the same amount of attention. There was no favourites.
It means everything. I don't know what we do without it, to be fair. We eat, drink and sleep it.
It's always through the family like the rest of us. There's not enough supporting words, I'd say.
I know my whole life at this rate.
We're very proud parents. That's a huge achievement to have 100% of your family still playing. We're proud of them all, every one of them.
My name is Niamh Heatherton.
My name is John Heatherton. I'm Kieran Heatherton.
I'm Patsy Heatherton, and as a family,
our roots are set in the GAA.
Ground Force probably is the absolute heart of this club, both in their ethos, the amount of work they do, and just the pure love they have for Naomh Marnoga and the GAA in general. In simplest terms, we probably couldn't function without Ground Force.
I suppose the GAA was always a bit more than hitting the ball or hitting the schlitter, you know, and it gave a great sense of community to people.
I suppose at my age, fear of retirement, worried about the unknown, what am I going into a home under my wife's feet all the time or something like that, and then we just got this men's initiative started off. We feel that we're giving something back to the club that gave so much to us. We come up here on a rotary basis and line pitches, cut grass. It kind of empowers us as well if we feel valued.
We're all friends, we're all retired, we're all around the same age group. Some of us have nothing outside of our work, and Ground Force has been a big change for everybody from the mental well-being point of view. It's really, really important and really significant, and there is great camaraderie amongst the group.
So I think there's about 30 odd men in this initiative that comes up to the club and has a chat. And the coffee is important as well. We sort out the world, Dad.
Yeah. Or well, most of it.
Yeah.
That's what it means to me, just achievement and pride.
My first memory of GAA would probably have been in Croke Park with my father. That would be in the early 1950s.
As a young lad, brought down to watch one of my brother's matches.
Playing under 10 hurling, and I say hurling, not camogie, because I played on the boys' team.
My feeling about the GAA was more a social one than a games one, because I thought it was a great way for all the kids to get to know each other.
Mum and Dad always brought us up to have each other's backs. We'd all go to each other's matches. No matter what we were doing or playing, we'd all support each other. I'm playing for the club 37 years, I think, now, but I also coach my two daughters' teams.
It's great. It really is a great feeling to have the kids down there. And now all of their friends are beginning to come from the same community and the same focus on the club, so it's a mirror of what happened to me in my childhood, I suppose.
We made more friends down the years and had more fun down the years than ever we would anywhere else.
Mum fostered that through us as well. She was chief bottle washer. She'd have jerseys upon jerseys out in the line. 3 of my offspring are married, and they met their better halves through the club.
The friends and relationships I got out of it. Looking back, that was really what the GAA was about. Community, about building relationships with people. My name is Mick Galvin.
My name is Mary Galvin.
My name is Phil Galvin, and my family roots are in St Bridget's GAA Club.
Welcome back to the second half here at Parnell Park. Ballymun, Kickhams 1-4, Ballyboden St Endas 3 points. There was a red card for Cathal Flaherty just before half time for Ballyboden, so they're down to 14 men for the second half. And then a goal just after from Paddy Small bloated the deficit out to 4 points. There has been a substitution for Ballyboden I should say, at half time. Galway senior footballer Cian Darcy, who transferred to the club last year, and on the back of his form with Boden ended up getting called up to Galway, and he ended up scoring 3 points in the All-Ireland final this year. So I suppose he's not long back coming with the club, back training, but they've obviously had to bring him in now.
Yeah, and look, he's lined out centre forward there, so he gives them a fulcrum there. It looks like they're able to drop Colin Pascal in full forward, so there's a bit of power that Cian Darcy brings. He's a huge man, so he'll be able to get on the ball, you'd expect, and maybe start to create a little bit more for Ballyboden up front. They've really struggled to break that line. Although, interestingly, it looks like John Small has been detailed the job of marking Colin Pascal, so he's gone in full back there and shifting across to pick up Cian Darcy is wing back Leon Young.
And Davy Byrne, who was so effective, probably sitting back around the D for Ballymun in the first half. He's standing up in the full forward, up in the square at the moment. We'll see if he drops back into his own half or with the man advantage if they leave someone extra up the field. It looks like Kieran O'Reilly has made way for Cian Darcy, who is a massive man, a huge man, and they obviously want that focal point, someone who can win a bit of primary ball, maybe burst through a tackle and, maybe try and get Colin Pascal on the ball a bit more as much as anyone.
Yeah, well, he changes the dimensions of the attack now. Totally different type of player than what they would have had on the field in the first half. But yeah, they're a man down. They'll have Owen Dolan sweeping the front across of Colin Pascal, so John Small will have a little bit of help there too. And drifting closer and closer to the throw in here.
Yeah, and John Higgins throws it in, and the ball ultimately ends up with Alex Gavin, who gives it to Donna McCabe, and back to Gavin once more. So Boden had a very uncertain end to the first half. They'll want to get on a bit of ball, get themselves composed, maybe get a score on the board early days. How much does the extra man make a difference in football in terms of how the teams hold the ball, use the ball?
Yeah, look, I guess now it's maybe not as prevalent as it was in terms of the way it was set up when you were 15 on man, 15 on 15. The systems now probably allow you to carry that. But, for 30 minutes playing without a player obviously has an impact in terms of energy and fitness, because they're not at the pitch of where they'll be in a couple of weeks' time when they have a couple of championship matches under their belt. So, look, the system probably covers you to some degree, but you're still a player down, and you'll have to work that little bit harder to cover for that.
Gavin. And Aaron Elliott looks like he's going to pick up a booking. The Ballyboden sideline getting a small bit excited.
Yeah, I think that they're kind of equating it to the tackle that happened and led to Cathal Flaherty being sent off. Look, it was a flailing arm again. It catches him across the top of the head, but this is yellow card territory given the way the tackle was leaned into him. Be amazed if it's anything more than that. But lots of noise being made anytime there's contact made now because of the fact the referee has brandished that red card, but this will certainly be a yellow.
Yeah, we can expect that now for the rest of the half. Anytime there's any sort of a foul, there will be a bit of vocals, and here's a replay.
I mean, he's reaching across the tackle. There's probably a little bit made out of it in terms of going to ground there from Alex Gavin, but he's entitled to do it given the way the tackle has come in on him. But look, a bright opening for Ballyboden gives Colin Pascal a chance maybe to split the posts here with a free. Certainly well within his range.
And just in terms of his own confidence, he's such an excellent player, but he hasn't featured as prominently as he normally would. This could be big for his confidence.
No. And
it's
we put the mockers on him there, both of us, Shane.
And again, that just feeds into the lack of accuracy that Boden had at the top end of the pitch in the first half.
Yeah, there's a good chance we'll be stepped down now going into the next couple of championship games. Have to put the mockers on Colin Pascal there. Look, one, he should definitely be scoring. He didn't wrap around it enough. He kicks it wide there. I have them down for, that's their fifth wide that I have, their fifth wide that I have them marked down for. And given how close the game is, they could all come back to haunt them.
Yeah, the accuracy so far, and shots dropped short as well. Just 3 points scored, and Ballymun are going to punish you all day if you're that profligate in front of goal. Cameron McCormick now. Working with Eamon Hill. Owen Dolan. Eamon Hill has it once more. Just about stays in play.
Yeah, probably nosebleed territory for Eamon Hill. He was inside there wondering, should I have a go or not? Good turnover, unlucky from Alex Gavin.
Yeah, good hard work from Alex Gavin, because they're going to need turnovers, particularly a man down. John Small to Paddy Small. Stays cool, plenty of Boden bodies around him, but he manages to find his brother, who goes on the loop. Leon Young now. Davy Leonard plays the ball back out the field to Owen Dolan. An experienced team like Ballymun, they'll know how to use the man.
Yeah, of course, and that's what they're trying to do, keep it wide. They get it in and then they realise they need to recycle it, so they come back out and almost start again. Although there's a move that John and Paddy Small are doing there. It's obviously one they practice in the gardens where they're trying that cut all the time. Hasn't led to, a huge amount of scores, but you can see what they're trying to do every time.
Davy Byrne once more. Certainly Ballymun are saying, we're the ones 4 points ahead of you. If you want the ball, come out and get it.
Yeah, no real urgency in Ballyboden trying to come out and force a turnover higher out. They're trying to protect the shell. They're obviously the player down, so Cathal Flaherty would have sat in the D. They now have someone else to do that job.
James McCarthy. Going to look to draw the man and put Paddy Small through. Gives it back to Dean Rock, and it's like a score we've seen 1,000 times. Dean Rock in the pocket, pops it over the bar. Lovely score.
Yeah, great score. Like, well worked, so patient on the ball. Gets into Dean Rock. There's generally only one result when that happens in terms of a score, but they must have kept the ball there for 2 or 3 minutes, Ballymun, before they managed to feed Dean Rock into space. But it was just the quickness of the hands and trying to identify it. And then look who's out trying to do the hard work to orchestrate another turnover.
Boden now. Certainly going into traffic is Donagh McCabe, but he's stayed cool. He's won a free for himself as well. Lazy arm went in. So a real opportunity to get on the scoreboard. It looks like Dara Sweeney's going to step up this time. Collie Pascal's had a few pops, hasn't quite gone his way. So it does suit the left footer, Sweeney. And off the post and back out. Yet again, wasteful. And just in the other game, it finished up St. Jude's 3-15, Fingalians 1-11. So that's a big win for Jude's. We knew at half-time between Castleknock and Lucan. Castleknock were 9 points, 1-6 to Lucan. So that game was level. We'll give you an update later on if we can. Big turnover for Boden there. Michael MacDonald drives the ball up the field. Colin Pascal now. He's against 2 men. He's away from Davy Byrne like he wasn't there, running straight at Owen Dolan. He'll want a goal. He has a pop and drags it just wide. With Darren O'Reilly coming along for the easy little set-up finish. We have a replay now. Look at the way.
Yeah, Davy Byrne just overcommitted then, left Owen Dolan backing up. Pascal was taking him on. Was there another pass that was there?
Maybe not.
Darren O'Reilly was probably behind the ball. Pascal probably had to back himself, but that's 2 wides from frees. Also the goal chance they've created there, so they're leaving scores behind them, no question.
And they got that turnover that they were looking for up at the top end of the pitch, and it was the right man in the right place at the right time, but for once it just didn't happen for Pascal. Boden looking for a turnover once more. Luke O'Donoghue working hard, but they couldn't quite fashion the turnover. Now it's Cameron McCormick working with Davy Leonard out on the far wing. Davy Leonard being faced up by James Holland. He's going at Holland. Now it's Bulger looking to use his pace against Ryan Baines and gets the ball inside to Paddy Small. Paddy Small running into traffic and he gets the advantage. Shane Clayton and Alex Gavin, one of the 2 players, left a hand in a little bit too long. That's a free for Paddy Small, and this is more than likely going to be converted from short range.
Yeah, so good at coming onto the ball like that late, Paddy Small. He just manages to bring himself into the move. Very physical in terms of you have to hit him hard to stop him because he's able to take it on himself. But you've gone there from a potential opportunity where Ballyboden could be sitting on the score of 1-5, similar to what their opponents have, to now Ballymun having a chance to go 1-6 to 3 points up. So they're just struggling to execute against the chances Wide from Colin Pascal, both from that goal chance and a free. Wide from Dara Sweeney inside as well. So, it could be a draw game. I know there's lots of if, buts and only, but all of a sudden Dean Rock just fleshes it out by another score.
Yeah, and one of the most experienced forwards in the game, 8 All-Irelands for Dean Rock, and he's not going to miss from there. Some treatment being given to, I think that's Paddy Small.
Yeah, I think he's still down from the tackle that came his way.
That could be a huge blow for Ballymun if he can't continue.
Almost 10 minutes into the second half, no score. The last score Ballyboden got was in the 21st minute of the first half, so they're nearly 20 plus minutes without a score, which obviously isn't going to win you a championship match. It's not going to win you any game if you're not able to get scores. They are creating, so there's a positive there. They just haven't managed to take any of the scores, but now is critical time for them. They need to start getting that scoreboard turning over.
Yeah, 110's worth of chances and they've scored just 3 points. It's just not going to get it done against a team like Boden. Greg Ramsbottom, the manager of Ballyboden, former player for Laois, of course, he'll be looking to make sure that Paddy Small is okay, can come back on and see this game out. Ross McGarry, he'll want to get in the game a little bit more as well. Transfers the ball across. Harry Donaghy could get swallowed up now by Dean Rock, and does. The referee is letting it go, and Ballymun have the ball once more. Dean Rock, not just a scorer at one end, Forger at the other.
Yeah, Dean Rock actually ran from underneath us here in the first inch of that play and tracked all the way across. The Ballyboden player, when he picked up the ball, didn't realise that Dean Rock was after running 40, 50 metres. He turned straight back into him, loses the possession. Phenomenal work rate, brilliant stuff.
And just at this moment in time, Ballyboden don't have an answer. Although this ball could be... Cian Darcy looking to cut that ball out from Leon Young, and unfortunately so far Cian Darcy hasn't really been able to make that impact that he would have wanted. 10 minutes gone in the second half and it just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, they're just not getting ball through the hands there. They're being forced to go into play they don't want to go, and Ballymun's physicality is really working them hard.
Yeah, there was perhaps a little bit of a tug there on Aaron Elliott, but he did overcarry and the referee has given the free to Ballyboden.
Yeah, he was trying to release his hand, and the Bowden guy got a hand on it that the referee didn't see, so then it ultimately looked like an overcarry, which it was. But there was probably a foul within it. Fiach Andrews looks like he's coming on.
Yeah.
Replace Davy Byrne, maybe, who's slowly making his way that direction, I think.
Well, Davy Byrne's definitely put in a good shift. Fiach Andrews on for him.
Great work rate, what you'll get from Fiach Andrews. Not only can he take scores, but he'll work so hard for the team.
Yeah, good experienced substitute to have. Shane Clayton carrying the ball now. There's some afters between Darren O'Reilly and Aaron Elliott in the middle of the field. Meanwhile, Shane Clayton still has the ball, and now Cian Darcy is on it this time. 3 points in the All-Ireland final for Galway, and he's got one on the board here straight away. That is an exceptional point from Cian Darcy.
Well, I think it's the first time he's touched the ball since he came onto the field. We got to mention that before the game started. We mentioned that he hadn't touched the ball. Now he gets his hands on it. Bowden managed to get a score. 41st minute of the game, and I mentioned it was the 21st minute of the first half they got a score, so they've struggled to break it down. Great score from Cian Darcy, an important one.
Anyone who bought the match programme today will have seen that Cian Darcy was initially number 21 and Luke Byrne was 24. But due to the size of the jersey, and Cian Darcy being such a big man, they had to swap the jerseys. And we had to change.
I know the feeling.
Oh, James McCarthy in behind, breaks to Fiach Andrews. Incredible save on the line. Is that Darren O'Reilly?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he's doing back there, but he managed to get a mitt on it to top it over the bar.
Sensational save.
Sensational stop. Yeah, great move.
You can see O'Reilly tracking James McCarthy. McCarthy, nice little flick, breaks to Andrews. And what is it? The goalkeeper, or is it?
No, I think it was O'Reilly got the hand on it. But brilliant tracking back to get onto the line. Good score in terms of the finish, but a great hand to knock it over the bar.
And Fiach Andrews, experienced player, showing straight away the impact he can make for his team. As we see Donagh McCabe coming off for Ballyboden. Just update you with who has come on in a moment. That's number 22, Michael O'Gara. Ross McGarry on the ball, running into traffic. The ball is worked back, eventually to Alex Gavin. Here is O'Gara. and Clayton. O'Gara's minimal options here. May have to just go back. Tries to thread one through the eye of a needle, and it's a turnover. Clever little flick there for Cameron McCormick. And Eamon Hill gathers the pieces. Now out we come out the field. McCormick's back on the ball once more, and he's probably the furthest player up the pitch, furthest outfielder, being chased by Luke O'Donoghue. And he tries to cut across him to draw the foul. Does so. Referee is given the free, given the advantage, but eventually Cameron McCormick works that ball over the bar. Yet again, Coleman, it's a turnover one end and a score for Ballymun the other.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant from Cameron McCormick. He went to go inside, then came back out. That dummy kind of cut across, and then when he did cut across him, it led to the foul being given. So he was playing an advantage, managed to knock it over the bar. Great work. A little bit of stuff going on in around the middle of the field all the time.
Leon Young and Colin Basquel getting to know one another. Not sure how that started, but they both ended up on the floor. Darren O'Reilly with the ball now. Not too many options ahead of him, so he has to go laterally to Ryan Baines. Now Cian Darcy. Will he fancy a canter? Gives it to Darren O'Reilly instead. Hugh O'Sullivan joined the attack now. When they're down a man out the field, they might need their goalkeeper to get involved. Basquel winds up from 40 yards. Certainly has the distance and floats it in beautifully. That, as for his confidence, as much as getting Boden that bit closer in terms of 6 points, that could be big.
Yeah, and his first from play, they've really struggled to get him into the game. No score from play either from Ross McGarry. So two, you'd be banking on to get your scores. Like, you're midway through the second half. You've only managed to score 5 points, so you can see they're under pressure. They are digging in. They have created some chances, but they are under pressure in terms of what they're trying to do. Not sure if the linesman maybe on the far side has spotted something. No, thought he was looking for the referee to speak to someone. Doesn't appear so.
Yeah, another substitution made now by Ballyboden. John Maguire is in. Darren O'Reilly is off. He comes off on the side of the pitch where the stricken Ryan Basquel, who's out for the season with a cruciate, is here. Without Boden, I'd love to have him on the field. But at the other side, Owen Dolan is carrying the ball forward once more, as he's done all game, and I don't think he's lost it once. Plays the ball to James McCarthy, who is down. Not for the first time today we've seen a player done for barging.
Yeah, probably the right decision. I'm not sure. Like, he was, embraced by the defender there, so he probably did lead to the foul being given, but I don't think he led into it like we seen earlier on. That said, referee gives the decision. Boden, after getting a little bit of a lift, I think there's a bit of stuff physically that's been going on around the field they haven't been overly happy with. Maybe that's given them a little bit of a spur.
Now here's a chance for Basquel to go at Leon Young, but other Ballymun defenders got back. Now well, look, it's one of those balls across the field that you're hoping lands in a Ballyboden hand, but if you're the manager on the sideline,
it's a nothing ball. I think either take on the score there, you recycle it, you pop it across there. Sure, you're even if you win the ball, you're going to be smothered. So it's just a wrong option. It was a nothing ball, and again they turn it over. Like, how many times have they turned over the ball that have led to chances for Ballymun? Okay, they're back to field now, but they still have opportunity to create.
Embracing, that's quite a term for a tackle.
I only use the best.
New one.
I only use the best words here.
Sean Curry sprays the ball out to this wing to Cathal Tadhg. Ballymun looking nice and composed. Nothing silly, says Evan Comerford. The Mayor Ishka today for Ballymun. He's certainly directing traffic here, and a bit like Mourinho saying about Luke Shaw those many years ago, it's his body in my brain or whatever, but I'm slightly exaggerating here. But Ballymun certainly look in control. Every player looks tuned in at the moment.
Yeah, they're working it great. Like, this is where you're getting to play the extra man. Ballyboden can't commit because they're down one. Really working the space so well.
And Dean Rock now normally makes the right decision. Gets the ball to James McCarthy. And James McCarthy with a rare, well, it was going wide, but Hugh O'Sullivan has spilled it out of play. Probably wasn't entirely sure if the ball was going wide or not, but if this is knocked over the bar, that'll be somewhat costly.
Yeah, not quite sure why he went for it. He would have known his mark, where his bearings were, because he had the post that passed him there or whatever. Probably should have let it go. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. Gives Dean Rock a chance. would have knocked these over in his sleep. A little bit more difficult, I suppose, although the wind or the breeze,
recycles.
Yeah.
Slight uphill as well.
Yeah, once
maybe.
upon a time would have taken them on, but maybe just, gives the legs a chance, plays it nice and short, doesn't need to commit.
Is it possible he's also just trying to retain possession and drain out Boden a little bit more? Kieran McManus now. Fiach Andrews has certainly gotten himself into the game since coming on, has a point, been on several possessions.
Yeah, he's been around with Ballymun. I don't mean that. What he brings is great experience. He's level-headed. He thinks about what he's trying to do. He's not trying to over-push anything, but works so hard for the team.
Now Paddy Small, a little bit of traffic down there, but holds on to it. And Robbie Bulger, he releases Carl Keeley, and eventually the ball ends up with Hugh O'Sullivan. This time he's more secure. Now Ballyboden, what can they do from here? They really need to get a score or two on the board. Yeah. And they've turned it over once more. James McCarthy, I think Dean Rock had gotten a hand in there.
Yeah, Dean Rock in the middle of it. Great work, what a great commitment to trying to just do the thing right. Work hard when you don't have the ball. Be clean when you have the ball.
And now Kieran McManus gives it to Fiach Andrew, who again just calmly assesses the options, plays it backwards. Leon Young has it now with the option of Carl Tighe, who's running off his shoulder. Tighe has a pop, drops it short, but he's fouled in the process. Certainly, it looks like a tired Ballyboden at this stage. The pitch has been made very big by Ballymun here.
Yeah, they've I won't say they've. Well, I will say they've run out of ideas a little bit in that they're not quite sure whether to press out on Ballymun, whether to sit back, and they're being caught between the two in terms of what option they're trying to do. Ryan Basquel, who's below us here, is calling fellas to come out and put a press on, but Ballymun have been clever in terms of where they've used space. They're creating the space around, but then you've also got to look at the work rate that Ballymun have put into this. We keep complimenting Dean Rock. He's the corner forward, but he's back helping out. He's covering runs, he's tracking, he's cutting off the runs, and that work rate is allowing the turnovers, or creating the turnovers and putting pressure on, and the result is always straight over the latch.
1-9 to 5 points now with 9.5 minutes to go of normal time. Ballymun sit everybody back, in around the middle of the field, and allow Boden to bring it out to the 65. They'll meet some resistance with Dean Rock and Paddy Small down this wing, and Leon Young. And a speculative ball into the middle from Shane Clayton, which has been collected out of the air and eventually ends up with an unbelievable block on the line from John Small, denying Michael O'Gara what should have been a certain goal.
Unbelievable. We've seen a great block on the line from Darren O'Reilly. John Small put everything in the way there. Brilliant fetch from Colin Basquel. It looked like a nothing ball across the goal.
Here it is.
Super fetch. And look at the pace in which he joins the movement, pops it across to him. You're thinking that's hitting the net all day long. John Small gets in the way of it, drops over the bar. Was that the big chance that Ballyboden needed? Certainly they didn't manage to get the goal. Can they go again?
Well, goal chances have been rare, very few and far between in this game for Boden. Colin Basquel has had one chance previously, did so well to set up Michael O'Gara there, and with 8.5 minutes to go at this stage, how many goal opportunities will Ballyboden be able to fashion?
Yeah, great block in the line. Both Darren O'Reilly's effort and John Small's, contenders for save of the season, I think.
Another wide. I think this time it was Dar Sweeney, was it, on his right boot? It was.
And 8 wides that they have, Shane.
Yeah, was it 5 wides and 3 drops short?
Back kick out, chance on.
Huge opportunity now. Dara Sweeney carrying the ball through. Will he have a pop himself? He will! A blasted into the back of the net. Drawn it back to a 3-point game. What a disaster at the back for Sean Curry. But my God, the way that was executed by Dara Sweeney. Game on.
What a finish by Dara Sweeney. An awful kick out. Obviously not what he's intended to do, but totally backed himself. Drills it down, comes into the 21, just inside there. Wow, great finish into the roof of the net. And
once again, straight to Dara Sweeney once more. And pops it straight over the bar. Incredible turnaround here late on. We thought it was game over when Michael O'Gara's chance went over the bar, when it was turned over by John Small. But look at this now. Dara Sweeney profiting from 2 terrible kickouts really from Sean Curry. Maybe the sun's in his eyes, but he's gone long this time. Straight to Paddy Small. Really is game on now if Ballyboden can get another turnover. But inside is Fiach Andrews, and once more he does the needful. He really has settled down that team at the top end of the pitch.
Important score. They've drifted into just a period there where they gave away 1-2, and all of a sudden the game turns. It was 1-9 to 5 points. Suddenly it was 1-7 to 1-9. You're 2 points in it. A nice response from Fiach Andrews. But Boden well and back in the game now. Could go any direction. Yeah, just 3 points in it with 6.5 minutes of normal time to go. There'll obviously be a minute or two maybe added on. We'll see what referee John Higgins decides to do. But Cian Darcy has the ball now, coming at pace. Is that Ross McGarry with a shot dropped short, wide. McGarry really hasn't caught fire just yet. There's still a little bit of time to go, but that was a very disappointing attempt. Interesting to see Evan Comerford had drifted all the way back down this side of the field. He's on the sideline beside us. He's nearly down in the 21. Got to remember that Ballymun are playing with an extra player here. You wouldn't know if the Ballyboden are pushed up on them, and they're going to lose this one. Yeah,
Cian Darcy, the go-away man, he collects it, and straight away he's got his team on the front foot. Ross McGarry somehow unmarked. He's running straight at the Boden defence. The ball is worked back to wide. That is a shocking miss for Ballyboden. I think it might be, just double check that that's Michael O'Gara. I think it might be.
Yeah,
number 22, Michael.
Yeah, I don't know why Ross McGarry maybe didn't just take it on. He was driving through there. He got an opportunity to pop it over the bar. Could have fisted it over, could have hit it with his boot. Threw it in onto the end line. There wasn't really anything happening in on the end line. And it's kicked wide,
But certainly Boden have Sean Curry a little bit rumbled here. And now that he's found James McCarthy done very, very well under massive pressure given how recent kickouts have gone. That's a testament to his composure. Fiach Andrews now, once again, really economical on the ball. And what can Ballyboden summon in the last 4.5 minutes plus injury time? Cathal Tighe. John Small on the ball, but Collie Basquel coming across, but Owen Dolan has an acre of space to move the ball into. And now an errant kick, and it's going to be cut out by Michael O'Reilly. Tries to kick the ball through to Collie Basquel, who's in a one-on-one race with John Small. Small gets a hand in, but Basquel has the ball once more. He could play it across to O'Gara, but instead knocks it over the bar himself. Real opportunity for a goal, but instead they take the point. Right decision, was it, Coleman?
Yeah, 100%. I think John Small's initial contact was brilliant. He managed to slow down Colin Basquel, knock the ball out of touch, but an awful pass again on a turnover. You think of Sean Curry's kick-outs, another turnover there. Ballymun are after inviting Ballyboden back into the game by just not minding the ball. You could hear Evan Comerford underneath us here say about mind the ball. They haven't listened to that. They had 3 wides in 5 minutes at the start of the second half. They had a couple of wides again there in the space of a few minutes, but they're still back in the game. Only 2 points in it. Tapped on brilliantly by James McCarthy.
And Dean Rock on the ball now. Right man in the right place. Cameron McCormick, who's been on the ball so much, and Fiach Andrews, who's had a massive impact since coming off the bench. Ball eventually worked back to Carol Keeley. He winds up, has a shot from the edge of the D, and over the bar. What a bomb of a shot.
Well, it was maybe unkind of him a little earlier when he kicked a bad wide there. I said maybe he didn't want to take it on. That time he certainly did. It hung and hung and hung. Got a benefit of a twirl or twist somewhere to drop over the bar. Back out to 3 points. Boden just can't get it down to the 1.
And just in the last 2 minutes, Sean Tuke has come on for Ballymun also. Both teams have dug into the bench. 3 points in it now in the 58th minute. What else do Boden have? Hugh O'Sullivan's going. Well, he wanted to go along, but he's miscued that one. Will it break for Boden? It will, and there was a pop pass on for Michael MacDonald. Instead, he's put the boot through it, the left boot, and it's gone wide. He had a teammate just inside him there. Easy say it from up here, Coleman, though.
Yeah, but 7 wide in the second half. Like they've created chances. They've almost dominated in respect of scoring opportunities across the second half. But again, just goes the wrong side of the post.
Alex Gavin wrestles the ball away from the Ballymun players. Gets upended. Goes backwards. Didn't have enough options in front of him.
No, there's at least 3 minutes additional time to be played here, Shane. So can Ballyboden get a point, bring it down to 2, and then really press the kick out? On the spin.
Dara Sweeney looks happy. Over the bar. So game on once more. We keep checking the time here. There's a minute and a half of normal time. Sweeney's had a massive game. That brings up his tally to 1-3.
Yeah, massive couple of minutes he's had, since the last 6 minutes he's after clipping 1-2. Has the gap down to 2. This is where they've been before. They need to get a turnover, need to get it back to a point. Give themselves a chance of maybe getting out with something, otherwise it's a goal to win it.
Conor Hanrahan's after coming on for Ballyboden as well, so they're dipping into the bench that little bit deeper once more, hoping that Conor can make an impact. John Small with the sideline kick. Manages to work a 1-2 with Leon Young and then Fiach Andrews, and he's running into a little bit of traffic and he's been turned over. And it's certainly a free for Collie Basquel as well, because John Small probably left the body in a little bit trying to disrupt Basquel after the turnover, and the referee certainly agrees with that. So this is a chance to knock it back to within 1.
Yeah,
what do you think?
Yeah, I think he pulled on his arm there. We didn't see the full cut of it there, but I think he pulled on his arm as he lost the ball. Probably took the wrong decision to go inwards rather than outwards. Lionsman is coming in to have a chat with the referee, but there's definitely a chance for Colin Basquel here. Admittedly, he's kicked a couple wide, from frees, one earlier on the half. This is right on the 45. He'll back himself in terms of taking on the chance. There's a bit of a breeze behind him. If it drops over, 60 minutes on the clock, it's a point game. There's definitely 3 minutes left on the watch.
Yeah, and he dismissed Dara Sweeney there. Dara was thinking, I'll have a pop at this, but certainly no. Collie Basquel wants to take the pressure on his own shoulders. Yeah, we've seen him deliver for Dublin, one of the best forwards in the game.
Referee's looking to have a chat with someone. Is it James McCarthy that's marching towards him?
He had a word with the sideline official, so obviously something went on.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be spoken to. I'm not quite sure what happened. Didn't pick it up.
Trying to get friendly with John Higgins, but John didn't want to know. He's more focused on dishing out whatever caution this is. Is he going for yellow or red? He's gone for a straight red card. Now, we didn't see what happened there, but that is huge, because if Boden can knock this over, we're back to 14 aside.
Yeah, certainly didn't see what happened there, but he's quite adamant it was a red card on it. Yeah.
Well, that is massive. Even going ahead to next week, the next round, both teams are going to be down a key player. But back to Collie Basquel, he has a chance to narrow the deficit to 1, which he does with ease. Brilliant score from Collie Basquel under massive pressure. Game on. 61st minute and it's game on. The pressure on Sean Curry as he looks to fire this one out. There are players making runs in all directions. He certainly has an option here of Leon Young out in the wing, but it actually drops to John Small. So Ballymun with the ball, trying to work it out. Young running into pressure, running into Boden tackles. Can Dara Sweeney turn him over? No, works the ball out. And it's Carl Keeley on the ball. And now Cameron McCormick, can he pop over his third of the game? He won't. Instead, he'll give it to Sean Took, who's in on goal, 1-on-1. Knocks the ball over the bar. Huge score as we enter the 63rd minute. Could that be job done?
Great score from Took. Got on to the end of the move. Leon Young turned a couple of times into trouble. Looked like he was going to lose it. Managed to retain it. There's probably still time for 2 scores. Will they go for goal? Not a great ball from Clayton. Yeah. Breaking ball here will fall Ballymun's way, surely.
Kieran McManus with the ball. And McCormick once more. Cameron McCormick's been on the ball all day. And John Small is done for leading with the arm. That's a free to Boden. They'll look to get it in quick.
Yeah, I think it's harsh on John Small. Okay, he's in the way. He did lean with the arm, so I guess referee is within his rights to give it. When you consider some of the earlier stuff that went on in the game, certainly he wasn't as whistle happy in terms of the frees. But again, Colin Basquel has a chance to narrow the deficit. He's obviously had a chat with the referee, realises maybe still time after this to try and get another score.
50 yards out. If he knocks this over, it'll be a huge score. Drop short. Straight into the hands of his teammate. Surely Michael O'Gara's fouled there. No, instead the ball is worked out to Conor Hanrahan. Under pressure from Dean Rock. It's back out to Gavin. And that's straight over the bar. I think that's Harry Donaghy.
Yeah, great score on the outside the boot. I'm just not sure. Did Colin Pascal go for the score? They're talking to the referee, asking is there time here. It's down to the minimum.
Well, certainly stop for another minute with James McCarthy's red card. Now, Sean Curry has responded really well after a mid-second half wobble. This kick out is huge. He's got the sun in his eyes.
There can't be much more. 63 on the clock. He's going to let it go one more. Clean catch, might see them out.
Huge catch from James Holland. Gets the ball onto Alex Gavin. He scored a point earlier. Instead, it's Michael MacDonald. He gets the ball out to Ross McGarry. We haven't quite seen the best of Ross McGarry today. He works it backwards. Now, it worked all the way across to Cian Darcy. And he balloons the ball to the right and wide. And that is the final chance of the game. Ballyboden had been paddling upstream the entire game. Looks like they had themselves back into a situation where they could work the equaliser. Cian Darcy pulled the trigger. Didn't quite happen. We've a small bit of argy-bargy here on the pitch at the end of the game. But ultimately, Ballymun just about got out of jail here. 112 to 111. Oh, how did they do it, Coleman?
That's an unbelievable finish. Like 50 minutes on the clock. It's 1-9 to 5 points. From that then to the end, there's been 10, 11 scores to get us to the end of the game. 1-9 to 5 points. You're thinking Ballymun are going to see this out with 10 minutes on the clock. The couple of bad kick-outs, couple of tidy scores. A goal ignites the whole Ballyboden setup. And obviously another red card in terms of James McCarthy leaving the field. But given the wide count, you look across the second half and that last chance, maybe Cian Darcy's wide there signifies why Ballyboden haven't come away with something, because of their profligacy in front of goal there across the second half. So, Ballymun hang on for a win. Ballyboden be raging they didn't get something out of it, given the amount of chances they kicked wide in that second half.
Yeah, we'll start looking over the highlights of the game here and some of the...
Just go to the last 10 minutes, surely.
Yeah, just rewatched them again. And James McCarthy, he was so important from the start to finish. 2 beautiful left-footed scores. Now, when I say to the finish up until his very, very late red card, which came towards the very end of the hour, Alex Gavin with a great score there. But just the impact of that bench coming, I think it was 2 points from Fiach Andrews, another what proved to be the winner from Sean Tuke. Like Ballymun got that bounce from their bench.
Yeah, just looking back on Dean Rock's effort there, I mean, of all the place it goes for it to hit the crossbar, like is a 1 in a million, given that can bounce over or into the net. Yeah, look, without talking about the subs, I suppose, first of all, Ballymun kind of dictated proceedings in that opening half. In 32 minutes, we only had 8 scores in the first half. It was tight, it was tense, it was big hitting. James McCarthy was the top scorer with 2 points from play, or from midfield with his 2 points from play. But there wasn't much given away as such in that instance. Ballyboden were hanging in without having got on much ball. And then came this incident, I suppose, in terms of what was deemed a second yellow. A referee issued a red. From that then came this goal scoring opportunity that was blocked down. Ballyboden work it out, but turn it over straight away. It comes back into the direction. This is right into injury time. Well worked goal. McCormick flips it into Bulger. Bulger across the small, takes a step and sticks it into net. So that leaves it at half time 1-4 to 3. We didn't expect what then came across the second half. Ballyboden had gone so long without a score. Dean Rock kicked us off after 34 minutes. Backed it up then again with a free that was won. Then Colin Pascal turns inside
huge
here. Yeah, which was the goal scoring opportunity. Drives it wide. You think of the chances, you look back on it, I'm not sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wides that they had across the second half. That one from Cian Darcy at the end. But they kept digging in, they kept hanging in. Cian Darcy then delivers a score. This point it's 1-6 to 4 points. That's with 41 minutes played. So you're still thinking it's Ballymun's to lose as it was. Great touch on here. Half a chance for goal. Look at Darren Riley drifting back onto the line. Unbelievable stop. Think it can't get much better than that. Cameron McCormick then, as you'd say to any young player, use that cut across, because the defender is then forced to give a foul on it. Clips it over the bar there. Great turnover, great score that resulted from it.
He was great all day, Cameron McCormick. A couple of early misses, but really got into the game, involved in the goal as well.
Yeah, and then that was a good lift from Colin Pascal, that score that got it to, it was only their 5th score. Free comes from Dean Rock, having been won by Cathal Ty. And then comes this, outrageous finish. Brilliant catch here. Pops it off. Watch John Small in the line, just throws body in the way. It goes up over the bar. You're thinking that was the big chance. Oh no, hold on a minute. Poor kick out. This is great stuff. Backs himself all the way to the goal, sticks it into the top corner. Game on, because you're back to 1-6 to 1-9. Not only that, ball drops again. Same man turns on to his left this time, says, yeah, I'll have a little bit more of that. Pops it over the bar. Back to a 3-point game. You mentioned the impact of the subs. Fiach Andrews comes on, gets a couple of scores. You can see him pointing hand out there. Knows he needs something just to stay in the game. You know, tips it over again, just widens it out again at that point to 3 points. Then it just went tit for tat. So it was Ballyboden's chance. Great tackle here from John Small. Denies Pascal, who's surely thinking I'm going to go for goal. Does well though. Turns around to knock it over the bar for another great score. And then again, Ballymun come back once more.
That was a bomb from Carol Keeley, wasn't it?
Great effort, because he had a chance earlier, a bit close to the goal, that it didn't go so well for him, but he did back himself that time to finish with a score. Then a great effort here, coming around the corner from Darragh Sweeney, like left foot, right foot in terms of the goal, sticks that one over. You know, the gap is down to 2 again.
Great work
Free
from
Colin
there.
Pascal to get it to 110. You're thinking, yeah, you know, you're down to the minimum now. Can you really press on the kick out? Did manage to get the score. Yeah, if you look at that incident there where James McCarthy there, is that where the referee spoke to from that? Like, he seemed to indicate that he made some contact with him into the midriff. I'm not quite sure it was very clear in terms of a red card being issued. Ultimately, they broke out. They went 2 points to the good when Chuk knocks it over. You're thinking, that's it. Can't be any more exciting than that. Yeah, well, ball is thrown back to Alex Tye. Look at this from the cornerback. Swings a boot, knocks it over the bar, 1 point game, and then they get this big chance at the end. They work it all the way across. You're thinking 3 points in the All-Ireland final. Settle yourself, stick it over.
The man did want on it.
Well, great pressure on the block too. You know, real commitment to the ball. Put Darcy under pressure. He tails it wide. Ballymun hang on for a point win. Took maybe a while to get there, but great excitement in the last 10 minutes.
For sure. So that's Ballymun, top of the table, alongside Ballantyre St. John's, who will have the edge in terms of scoring difference because of their 7-point win over Sylvester's. The way it works in the Dublin Senior Football Championship this year is the 2 winners will play off in the second round. So that means Ballantyre St. John's will be against Ballymun Kickhams, and St. Sylvester's will meet Ballyboden. And I'd say all management teams will be hoping not too many of their players are going to Electric Picnic in the meantime. But is there a way back for Ballyboden after this, do you reckon?
Yeah, I think, look, they've great opportunity there to try and win that game, or at least get something out of the game. So they'll be disappointed to leave points behind them. Ballymun need, as I say, will be delighted that they've 2 points chalked up on the board. If you compare, the matches, I suppose, Ballyboden go out against Sylvester's the next day out. Given what Ballyboden did there, you'd expect them maybe to turn over Sylvester's. That then gives them 2 points. Ballantyre and Ballymun then becomes a big 6-pointer in terms of who manages to get a result there. And then it goes down to the last game, obviously, as it usually does in these group game football. So, look, Ballyboden will be disappointed. Created enough to win the game, certainly created enough to draw the game. But Ballymun will be delighted, and probably, midway through that, 50 minutes into the half, we're thinking there's only one winner going to be here, so they probably deserve to see it out in the end.
Okay, well, just one of the other results from the go-ahead Ireland Dublin Senior Football Championship tonight. Castleknock 17 points, Lucan 115, so that's a big win for Castleknock, all right. I think that's pretty much, 112, 17 points to 112, so 17-15 when you convert goals to points. So that's it from us here at the go-ahead Ireland Dublin Senior Football Championship this evening. Finished up, Ballymun coming out on top against Ballyboden, 112 to 111 for a finish. That's myself, Shane Stapleton, thanks very much, and Cormac Goggins, thanks very much to you, and we'll be back again soon with more action from the championship.